All right, now my mic is louder. Okay, so what I was saying is, yeah, shouldn't there have been two bodies were found the first time? This time it's like, oh, a body's been found, and then it's like, oh, a body's been found. That is what's leading me to believe that someone was not dead. That is what I'm thinking.
And so here we are.
The Monokuma file!
Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out to you when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Just hand it over already.
Now, make sure to investigate with all your mental smite and prepare for the class trial. Okay, see ya later!
Well then, now that we found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
Hold on! How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know. Dead, gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful thing is, it's just too awful.
Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why? Why?
Large, wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If there was some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. This wasn't...
He's alive again? Where am I?
Yep, Hifumi killed him. Straight up, Hifumi killed him. Not gonna lie, Hifumi killed him. Hifumi, he did it all. Definitely.
Cold. So cold. Is winter coming? Hifumi! Wake up! Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak. Come on, you gotta wake up! I remember everything before I met you all.
Oh, he's remembering his past life. His past life. Oh my gosh. The anti-remembering gun.
I met you all.
His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us. No, that is definitely useful. That's the only real thing that's ever happened to him. Oh my gosh. Yee. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
The light, it's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet. Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember. Their name. Yasu.
Yasu.
Hiro.
Oh shit. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for a second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how much anymore Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of your way to return just to leave us with those unnecessarily dying words. Now the game has been extremely boring.
He said Yasuhiro, right?
Yasuhiro Hagakure? He's the only person that could have referring to.
And with that, the case is solved. assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. And there goes so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. And that was... Hiro is... Oh, there's the hammers right there. They're missing. Small hammer, medium hammer, and then 2 large hammers. That's 4 hammers that are missing. Damn. He painted him. But who's the ultimate paintist? Hiro, not Hiro, what's his face? Hifumi. Are you sure Hifumi didn't do this?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him, no matter... No way I can ever forgive him. You 2 killed our friends.
That's fine.
Anyways, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Anyways, this time it's all a life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble. Yes, it does look that way. It's gonna begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. There's no choice but to go through this. To make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Investigate. First, I have to check on the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kishio Ishimaru. The cause of death were a blow to the head. If that's the case, I thought they were both killed by a similar weapon. What's this?
Strange.
This is very strange. We got way less information than last time before. There is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfold before our very eyes. You should know more of what happens than the Monokuma file could anyways. Maybe.
There's something else that's bothered me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while.
Are you talking about Kyoko?
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for Celeste and Hifumi who were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice?
An accomplice?
An accomplice? What are you doing here? Don't be rude. I'm just here to answer your question.
What question?
You're talking about an accomplice, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? The first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, 2 people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can have an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So, are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Sorry, I can't answer that. That would obstruct the free chance exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist them in murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
Then we only need to figure out who the blackened one is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In the case of a trial, you need to determine who is the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action.
The true blackened? So the one person...
That's enough of explanification. Now, if you head down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened, good luck to y'all and the contestants.
So there could only be one blackened, an accomplice that couldn't benefit. And then I can't see any way Kyoko could be connected in case after all. But listen to this. They said the true blackened. That means, he said, the person that put the plan into action, the one that make sure it all happened. So Kyoko could technically be the mastermind behind the whole interaction, planned to get the murder, and then told what's her name, Yamada or whatever his name is, to commit the murder. But she would be the one blackened. He was the accomplice, even though he was the one that technically murdered. Therefore, the true blackened would be Kyoko in that case. But we're not saying it's Kyoko. I'm just saying, in that circumstance, that would be the case. using his wording. I'm just saying. But we're not sure. Nothing is certain in this game. You just have to put the lines together and hopefully things make sense. Okay. Then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to the case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
As long as she's not connected to the case, doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible, but for the time being, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to further pursue information. You know, don't you think you should consider someone as a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. What? I'm offended. Come.
What? When did you?
I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyways, you there, silky sack swimmer girl. Milksack? Why do I gotta be a suspect? Well, I mean, you are a serial killer. So what? I'm a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the body disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus Taka. Aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body. Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone and when someone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing. That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about. On another topic, should we post guards for the bodies like before? We can't have them disappear again.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina?
Sure. I'd be totally useless in an investigation anyways. Then, that's the case. Let's begin. The whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's gonna be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma file number 3 has been added to the truth bullet section of the handbook. Alright, let's examine dead body 1. Taka, you'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? Is there a tarp laying under his body? Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way, there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was being moved. Blue tarp has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Fumu's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here in the repository, all the way from the first floor to the third floor, and all without anyone noticing it? How the hell? It's no good. I don't get it. I can't think about it later. From now on, I need to finish investigating Hifumi myself. It looks like a JPEG. It looks like a JPEG. Look at the contrast between the blood, the floor, and then Hifumi's body. It looks like a JPEG. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Which is also easier to do because they could just place the JPEG there and then remove it to make it easier for the scene to exist. That's smart. It's smart, but it looks bad. It's smart, but it looks bad. So bad. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus the body right now. It's his glasses. His body in the nurse's office, his glasses was covered in blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? Hifumi's glasses has been added to the truth bullet section in the handbook. That's because Hifumi did it. Hifumi's the murderer. Hifumi's glasses has been added to the truth bullet section in the handbook. Alright, what else do I do? There are hammers of different sizes hanging on the wall, though some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers have obviously been seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris, chalky stone, powder, and wait! For some reason, one of the hammers isn't dirty at all. It's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bullet section in the handbook. Suspicious. No, not you. We already saw this. Yes. Skip it. Skip it. I didn't mean to click on you. It's a dolly. Doesn't seem to have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it used to move statues around. It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh, but wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Oh my gosh, even that looks like a JPEG. Oh my god. It looks like a JPEG in the other room. Look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheels and dolly and was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's that explanation for that? Repository dolly has been added to the truth bullet section of the handbook.
There are many aspects in the incident this time too, to be honest. Considering that it may be a good to look back on everything that's happened. Would you like my help?
Yes. Yeah, let's look back on things.
This morning, only 4 of us met at the dining hall. Hina, Toko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but no one showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko disappeared.
After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me.
According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and laid conscious for a while. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock.
Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It has also become clear that this Robo Justice has dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Kyoko and Byakuya, we began to search for the costume assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library in the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office in the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office.
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving up the top of the stairs.
Based on Celeste's claims, we went back to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Right after that, Celeste screamed for the 3rd time. Apparently she had seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw a strange costumed man. He ran across as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hall and disappeared.
And then...
Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. It's bad. Come down, let's go back.
At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hida, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspects in the 3rd floor.
No. Oh. Right. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. And back when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor and to tell the others what had happened.
However,
But at that time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which meant Hifumi and Taka's body were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement to play right after we found Taka.
And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you and me, Byakuya, headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But soon after we left the physics lab, we ran to Select, who had arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone.
Then we remembered we had to abandon the unconscious Toko and rush to the equipment room.
This can't be happening.
Are we hallucinating or something?
At that time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began to search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time,
Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there, we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished.
and that brings us up to now.
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back in the cases, again, just let me know everything is fine.